To ensure the maximum benefit from using a Bambach, each seat must be set up for the individual user. This involves adjusting the height and degree of tilt of the seat, and if appropriate, the height and angle of the backrest. Some Bambachs come with gas lift stems, allowing the seat to be set at any height between the maximum and minimum positions. Others have interchangeable fixed stems of different lengths, offering a range of fixed heights which cannot be adjusted by a user. This instructional video gives you all the information you need to be able to adjust your Bambach. In a moment, a menu will appear, allowing you to choose either to view all modules or only those relevant to the adjustments you wish to make. To ensure a neutral pelvic position, the degree of tilt on the seat must be adjusted to the correct position. The user should lift the back handle on their right-hand side and manually tilt the seat forwards. The correct degree of tilt is achieved when the user naturally maintains an upright spinal posture while remaining comfortable and supported. Excessive forward tilt will encourage an anterior tilt pelvic position which overextends the lumbar spine and may be slightly uncomfortable. To insert the backrest, simply guide the backrest stem through the space at the back of the seat cradle. Once the backrest is adjusted to the correct height, secure it by turning the knob on the base of the backrest stem in a clockwise direction, being careful not to over-tighten. To remove a backrest, lift the lever to the left and push the backrest as far back as possible. Then loosen the grip on the backrest by turning the handle at the base in an anti-clockwise direction. The backrest can now be pulled out. As a user grows, the seat must be adjusted to the correct height, and it may be necessary to fit a longer fixed stem. To do this, in addition to the replacement stem, you'll need a mallet or hammer and the special stem changing tool available from Bambach. You may also find it helpful to remove a backrest if one's fitted. To remove the current stem from the base, hold on to the base, lift the seat slightly, and strike the edge of the bottom of the stem with the mallet. Take care to avoid hitting the pin in the center of the stem base. This may sometimes require considerable force, especially if the stem's not been replaced for a long time. If so, you may find it easier to ask a second person to hold onto the base and lift the seat. To remove the stem from the seat, place the stem changing tool at the base of the seat cradle where the stem is inserted. Hold the stem and strike the tool with the mallet. Again, several hits may be required to loosen the stem from the seat cradle. To fit the new stem, simply insert the bottom end into the base and the top end into the seat cradle. You can now adjust the seat to the required height. To adjust the height of a seat with a gas lift stem, first ensure that the seat is in its lowest position. This can be done by lifting the front lever on the user's right-hand side and exerting a downward force on the seat. To raise the height of the seat, the user must stand and take their weight off the seat before lifting the front lever on their right-hand side. To reduce the height, the user must lift the front handle while sitting on the seat. Achieving optimal posture on the Bambach requires the user to sit higher than on conventional seating. The user's hips must always be above their knees, ideally positioned with a hip angle of 45 degrees from the horizontal. The working height will sometimes vary and may be dependent on the height of the user's working surface or desk. It's possible to fit a height locking bracket to ensure that once set up correctly, the height of the seat can't be adjusted by the user. To do this, you'll need an Allen key, which is available from Bambach. Turn the seat upside down and locate the height locking bracket alongside the height adjusting lever. Loosen the two fixing screws using the Allen key. When the bracket can be moved, push it in the direction of the back of the seat until it's flush with the height adjusting lever and retighten the two fixing screws. The height adjustment lever will now be inactive. To make height adjustments to seats with adjustable fixed solid stems, you'll need an Allen key, which is available from Bambach. Loosen and remove the locking nut in the center of the stem by turning it in an anti-clockwise direction. The stem size can then be increased or decreased as required. To secure the stem in its new position, align the two holes through the center of the stem and insert the locking nut. The nut then needs to be secured by using the Allen key to turn it clockwise until tight. When a backrest is supplied, it needs to be fitted and adjusted to ensure that it supports the middle of the back. Locate the knob at the base of the backrest and loosen it by turning it in an anti-clockwise direction. The backrest can then be moved up and down. When adjusted to the appropriate height, secure the backrest by turning the knob in a clockwise direction until it's tight. Be careful not to over-tighten it. The angle of the backrest can also be adjusted. Lift the lever below the seat on the user's left-hand side and push against the backrest to take it back, or lean forward to allow it to come forward. The angle required will depend on how much back support the individual needs. To lock the backrest into position, release the lever. Some seats are fitted with tilt handles, which can be removed so that the position can't be changed by the user. Turn the seat upside down and use an Allen key, which is available from Bambach, to unscrew the bolt and remove the pin that passes through the handle. The tilt handle can then be removed. Be sure to keep the handle and pin in a safe place to be able to adjust the tilt in the future. Ensure that the user's feet are flat on the floor or on the footplate if one is attached. To raise the height of the seat, the user must stand and take their weight off the seat before lifting the front lever on their right-hand side. To reduce the height, the user must lift the front handle while sitting on the seat. If a user has difficulty with sit-to-stand transfers, the height can be adjusted by a therapist or appropriate adult while the user remains seated. The handle at the back controls the tilt of the seat. It should be lifted and the degree of tilt adjusted until the user is in a neutral pelvic position. When a backrest is supplied, it needs to be fitted and adjusted to ensure that it supports the middle of the back. Locate the knob at the base of the backrest and loosen it by turning it in an anti-clockwise direction. When adjusted to the appropriate height, secure the backrest by turning the knob in a clockwise direction until it's tight. Be careful not to over-tighten it. The angle of the backrest can also be adjusted. Lift the lever below the seat on the user's left-hand side and adjust the angle to provide the required level of back support. To lock the backrest into position, release the lever.